Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Gold wave is coming, or is it already here? Let's explore. Today is election day, and many people are predicting either a blue wave or a red wave. But in reality, it could be a combination of both. We just don't know. And we don't know when exactly we'll find out. More than likely, we probably won't know today. But I believe that one thing is for certain, and that is we have a gold wave. Especially a gold wave when we have seen gold rise up above its record prices back in July. Well over $2,000. But it has kind of creeped down a little bit since then, but it is making its way back up above $1,900 again just today. As election day progresses along here and the coming week transpires, what will the results be? We don't know. This has been one of the most contentious elections that we have ever experienced in our lives, and it could shape the foundation of the country for years to come, potentially, depending on how things work out, depending on what kind of wave we get. But one thing's for certain, as I've talked about in my recent video, and that is there is this gold wave that is shaken the markets for sure. And to a lesser extent, we have seen silver perform quite well too. Now, silver has not broken any records, but it has made a great leaps in terms of the paper price. And it is now back in competitive territory, so to speak, where it has been kind of down for quite a while. So there is a small wake of ripples of silver that are certainly coming on the back end of gold, of this gold wave. But I believe gold is the metal to really watch as we look to the future here as to what is going on with the elections and where our nation will be headed. It's important for the world as well because the dollar is sort of in play, and there's also talk of a new digital dollar coming and a revaluation, what's known as sort of the big reset. And this global reset of currencies and revaluation of debt is going to have an effect, I believe, on the markets, gold and silver prices. But in anticipation of that, I think in many ways, gold is kind of reacting. And so no matter which political wave hits or doesn't hit, and to some extent here, red or blue, we know that we can count on a gold wave coming. I believe the prices for gold have gone up to a point now when we're at in a situation where $1,800 gold is considered low, whereas just a few months ago, $1,600 gold was considered overvalued. Is gold overvalued? I don't believe so. This is why I believe that the gold wave will continue to make its way to the shores, and I believe the markets will react in a manner that will be reflective of true money. That's right, gold being the ultimate store of wealth, I believe. Now, make no mistake, silver is there too, but it is reacting to a lesser extent at this point. And this is kind of made evidence by the gold to silver ratio that we have seen hovering anywhere between 75 to 80 in recent weeks here. And when we start to see that ratio narrow, watch out for silver, because I believe it certainly could catch up and narrow that ratio down. But I think that's going to come on the piggyback of gold. Silver is going to ride the gold wave. And that is why it's important to pay attention to gold, even if you are a silver stacker out there. The gold wave is something that we can bet on as the ultimate wealth preservation tool, no matter who wins the election, because as I have mentioned, both sides, from all ideological perspectives, are betting on and counting on and are for further stimulus measures. Which you know what that means. That means a further devaluing of the dollar because of the further debasement of our currency. Need to dilute the money supply with more of these notes out there. Then what does that mean? That means that things like this become much less valuable in due course. And this particular note, this debt instrument, is being continued to be printed and digitized, and perhaps in the future it will become tracked with a ledger system, digital ledger system, the Federal Reserve note. Indeed, we'll see how it all plays out. But one thing that cannot and will not be is gold and silver, at least in the physical form that you hold it here. Now, there are ways to be able to track this stuff digitally, as we know, we've talked about, and there are ways to be able to utilize a gold-based cryptocurrency or a gold-based ledger system or what have you, to be able to track even the physical to some extent with unique markings, near-field communications, another kind of RFID scenarios. But my feeling is that the metal itself, you hold on to it, it can't be tracked, and it can't be devalued. And that's the important thing. Gold and, yes, even silver cannot be devalued. And that's why the wave is unstoppable, especially for gold in these times, because the price may fluctuate, but that is really based off of market sentiment, where it is priced. Now, it's obvious if you go to sell a gold coin that you bought for $100 above what you are selling it for, well, in your mind and in reality, in your situation, most assuredly, it does seem like it's devalued. But it's really the price movement and structure and the amount of dollars that are paid for it. When you hold gold and silver long enough, both those metals will preserve their value. It does take time and it does take patience, even for gold. But we've seen incredible movements in the precious metal in recent weeks and months. So that gold wave will continue to climb and be able to provide us with the confidence that what we are holding is true and it is solid and it is of something of substance, weight, and a great beauty. We hold it in our hands. The gold wave. Here it is, Election Day. We will ride the storm out wherever it falls, whatever kind of unrest that will transpire after this election or in the midst of finding out who the winner is, as there is going to be most assuredly a lot of different viewpoints on where things should go, and potential lawsuits and the like, of counting of mail-in ballots, and all sorts of things that will transpire in the coming days if we don't have a clear winner. At this point, we really don't have any idea. Just like the gold price and the precious metals market, it's tough to predict. We think we may know. We think we have a good, solid handle on what maybe poll numbers tell us or what they don't tell us. Crowd size at rallies. It's very easy for some of us to get overconfident or to get bummed out in times like this. And really, with the presidential election of such magnitude and what we have invested in these metals, we tend to want to gravitate to what we think they should be or what we hope them to be. The idea of wishful thinking in politics is something that has been going on since they started, for sure. But make no mistake, when you hold gold and silver, you don't have to think wishfully, because they do. They are something of value. And though we may wish in some ways that they're going to skyrocket in price, We should not hope for that. We don't want to set ourselves up for disappointment, just as is the case with presidential elections and what we have invested emotionally and with time and money. We have to deal with the reality that is before us, one way or the other. And again, I'm recording this video long before the votes have been cast. We are in the midst of election day as of the recording of this video. People are out voting right now. We don't know what the election will be, results will be. But no matter what happens, no matter who wins, we must press forward. We must unite, and we have to unite with the understanding that precious metals have long stood the test of time. They have surpassed elections. They have surpassed candidates. They have surpassed administrations. They have surpassed nations and multiple nations, empires, epochs. It's fascinating and amazing. But the ideals represented on these coins themselves, these gold coins, I think are as timeless as the gold itself. And they are the mottos and representations of a nation, but the nation is founded upon ideas that are timeless. So we hold fast to those as well. And we recognize them here as we experience, yes, a gold wave. And the gold wave will continue no matter who wins the election. And I believe silver will also trail that gold wave in ripples as well. So we'll see how it plays out. So there you have it. I hope you found this video encouraging on this election day. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch this video, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.